All right, we want to continue our quest to multiply and divide expressions. So let's venture off into looking at rules of exponents. Our key concept is the product of power property, which tells us to multiply powers with the same base. We want to add the exponents. Real simple. We know that if we had 6 to the third power, 6 is considered our base, and 3 is considered our power, or exponent. We can also do that if we have a variable by saying y to the second power, where y is our base and 2 is considered our power. So you just have to make sure that you be able to distinguish, even if we had both 6x, or should I say 6 cubed y squared, that we can't literally multiply these by themselves like the way they are, but we still have a base of 6 and a base of y with 3 and 2 as powers. So let's go ahead and use the product of power property and take a look at one example. So the first example we want to look at, we want to simplify. We want to simplify x to the 6 times x to the 7. So again, we will use let's use our power product property and make this x to the 4th, x to the 6th. Make that look better. X to the 6 times x to the 7, and that's going to give us x to the 6 plus 7. We're just simply adding the actual exponents. And once we add the exponents, it becomes x to the 13th power. Okay, now for the most part, we need to learn how to evaluate, simplify, and evaluate also. So let's take a look at a second example, which will go just a little bit further into what we're trying to do. So if we have, for example, 2, say if we had 3x squared and, well, let's make it 3 squared, x squared, times 3x to the third power. So we can make this a little easier for us to read by, if you want to think about now, if you were doing mixed numbers, you would multiply the whole numbers time each other, and then the fractions time each other. This is what we're going to do here. We're going to take the coefficients, that's the number in front of the variable. We're going to take the coefficients. In this case, the coefficients are 3 squared times 3. We're going to multiply those by each other, and let's go ahead and put them in parentheses. And then we're going to multiply the variables, which is x squared times x cubed, times each other. Okay, now I know some of you are probably saying, okay, let's multiply 3 times 3 and get 9, but that's not the case here. We're still going to add the actual exponent. So this would give me, for your constants here, this would give me 3 to the 2, and this is actually when you see a number or a variable that do not have a power, that power is 1. So that'll be 3 to the 2 plus 1, and that's times x to the 2 plus 3. And then from there, we will have 3 to the third, x to the 5th. Now, because we are in the simplification and evaluation mode, we get to the evaluating part here. We've simplified it. Now, the evaluating part would be, what is 3 to the third power? Well, of course, 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. x to the 5th. So let me make sure I put these instructions and steps out here, and if you don't mind, make sure that when you copy this video that you copy these steps down. Here, this is the properties of multiplication property. And of course, here we are using the power of products property. And here we are adding our exponents. And then of course here we evaluate it. Okay, and we're evaluating the power. So that's pretty simple, the way we actually go from using the product property to actually using it in a simplification and evaluation process. So we will take a look now at working some problems and see how well you can